different parts of the country. We have participants coming from the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region. We have from Caraga, National Capital Region, Region 1, Region 10, Region 9, Region 4A, and Region 11. As of 2 o'clock, our industry participants we have around 54 participants coming from the industry, 27 from the academe, 26 from the government, and 14 from our focus sectors, the functional food and the processed foods. Stay tuned until the end. Back to you, Yael.
Thank you so much, Sir Ariel. So, BC Ariel is our innovation partner and he is our division chief in the Industry Development Division of DTI Regional Office 11. So for your innovation needs, you can always approach us. Now, to give our welcoming remarks, we have a strong partner in the Davao RIIC program, no less than the Regional Director of the Commission on Higher Education 11. Folks, help me welcome Dr. Maricar Casem.
Good afternoon, everyone. To all of you, wherever you are, who are watching, listening to the first of the Industry-Academe Market Research webinar series of the Regional Inclusive Innovation Center, or RIIC Davao, I hope you are always in the best of health. Let me welcome first the prime movers of the Regional Inclusive Innovation Center, Davao. DTI Region 11, Director Maria Belenda Q. Ambi and her team, Engineer Edwin Bangkirigo and Mr. Ariel Ningasca, the OST 11 Regional Director Anthony C. Sales, the ICT Mindanao Cluster 3 Director Engineer Erlito Tanconcian, Senior Education Advisor, Office of Education, USAID Philippines, Mr. Mir Tila, distinguished panel of reactors, industry representatives, faculty members, and students of higher education institutions offering business administration, entrepreneurship, agribusiness, and agri-enterprise programs. And of course, let me acknowledge our distinguished resource person for this afternoon, Mr. Juan Paolo Gonzales, AVP for Corporate Marketing, Rebisco Corporation, and part-time faculty, University of Asia and the Pacific. Thank you, Mr. Gonzales, for sharing with us your time and expertise for this afternoon. My acknowledgement also for the CHEDRO 11 team, our education supervisors, Ms. Lourdes Cesar and Engineer Rod Pangantihon, and the Upscale team for doing a great job in hosting this webinar. For those who cannot log into the Zoom because we have reached the 300 registered participants, we are live in Facebook and we are compiling the webinars for this to be accessible in our website as resources for our interested industry partners, higher education institutions, and faculty members. Today's webinar is the first for the webinar series on Industry-Academe Market Research, which the Regional Inclusive Innovation Center, Davao, is conducting. The RIIC Davao has purposely designed this webinar in series for us to better know, understand, implement, and appreciate the true essence of the Industry-Academe Market Research. For this afternoon, we are fortunate enough to have the inputs of Mr. Juan Paulo Gonzales to discuss the topic on how to make insights drive success and innovation in your business. His inputs will be further reinforced as we will hear the panel of reactors share their insights. This afternoon series served as the opening salvo, as the basics of market research will be properly discussed. It is our aim that your interest on market research will be steered today so that you will look forward to attending our incoming series. We need to develop the capability of the specific sectors and the academe to undertake relevant and responsive market researches and to mobilize and translate knowledge into technology innovations for greater productivity and economic growth. Together, in the Regional Inclusive Innovation Center or RIIC Davao, let us collaborate in advancing science, technology, engineering, and investments in the Philippines. Thank you everyone for making yourselves available. Have a productive webinar and keep safe always.
Thank you so much, Dr. Casquejo, for that warm, welcoming remarks. So to proceed, let us all welcome this time another valuable partner of the Davao RIIC, Dr. Anthony Sales, the Regional Director of the Department of Science and Technology 11, to give us his opening message.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I would like to express my warmest gratitude to the Department of Trade and Industry, the Commission on Higher Education, and the project team members of Project Stride. You have been our invaluable partners in assisting our stakeholders through complementary programs and collaborations, such as the Regional Inclusive Innovation Centers Initiative. To our speakers, I would like to express my thanks for joining us today to share your insights and ideas. This time may not be the best time of our lives, yet we do what we can do to thrive and overcome the struggles brought about by the pandemic. I'm delighted that many of the industries accepted the invitation to attend this webinar. As mentioned in this activities briefer, the intention of this webinar is twofold. One is to encourage more industry-academe partnerships, since these types of activities benefit from the methodical and data-driven approach of the universities. CRADLE, or the Collaborative Research and Development to Leverage Philippine Economy, is part of the DOST Science for Change program, wherein the private sector will identify the problem and the higher education institution or research and development institution will undertake the research and development to address the identified problem. The CRADLE Challenge 2020 is a hybrid of the original CRADLE program, which focuses on identifying technologies and innovative solutions that can define the new normal for business processes, taking into account potential long-term behavioral changes in the market, as well as shifts and restrictions in the value chain and logistics. The challenge has four thematic areas: sustainable supply and logistics, products for the new normal, reinventing the workplace, and services that transcend boundaries. I would like to take this opportunity and inform you that the deadline of the DOST CRADLE Challenge has been extended to July 14, 2020. With more undertakings between the industry and the academe, we intend to lessen the MSME's risks in business development and develop innovations that will ultimately help jumpstart the Philippine economy. Rest assured that DOST will continue to provide the S&T interventions needed by our MSMEs. I hope that the attendees of this webinar will get the most out of this activity, and I hope you will have a fruitful discussion with the speakers and your co-participants. Good afternoon and have a good day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sales. So before we proceed, guys, we would like to inform you that we are currently going live on our YouTube channel. That's Shed Regional Office 11. So for those of your colleagues that were not accommodated dito sa Zoom kasi medyo limited yung capacity ng Zoom account natin. You can always direct them to our YouTube live. So nasa Ched Regional Office 11 account po. Sila po yung nagla-live stream via YouTube. So we're still working on our Facebook live. Hopefully makahabol. But currently, we are up na po sa YouTube channel ng Ched Regional Office 11. So to proceed, now when we started the Davao RIIC initiative in 2019, our partner, the USAID Stride Program and the RTI International, has been there to give us unwavering support, especially yung technical assistance, in strengthening the innovation ecosystem in the region. So to give his message of support, please help me welcome the Chief of Party of USAID Stride, Dr. Richard Abendan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just want to have a short message for you all. First, I want to recognize our partners here. It's always a team effort for innovation. We have USEC Brenda Manzano from DOST. I think her team's watching in. Of CHED Region 11 Director Maricar Casquejo, thank you for hosting this platform and the event. Our friends from DTI, RD Bel Ambi, and Ariel, my friend there, and from DOST, you've heard from RD Sales and his team, Kenneth. From DICT, Engineer Erlito Tangcontian. And other regional directors and officials from government and our partners here in Region 11, actually throughout the country. Our academic partners, and particularly our MSMEs who are participating today, you are our main target for these webinars, and thank you for your participation. I really just want to thank our speakers today, headed by Paolo Gonzales, Ms. Olivia Puentespina, Ms. Betty Marfil-More, Ms. Maria Christina Ramos, and our President John Tria for being the speakers and resource people for today. I just want to have one simple message, is that Industry-Academe is a big gap. It's always been something we want to overcome. With the STRIDE program with USAID, our effort here is really to make innovation drive economic growth. And for that to happen, we need industries and even government and academe to be attuned to market needs. That's why for us, this webinar is very timely, particularly now during the time of the pandemic, where we really need to bring out innovations to help our companies thrive and also help generate more jobs in the Philippines. So with that, really, I just want to have a short message that with the Regional Inclusive Innovation Center, it really takes a team or a village to create this innovation. So that's why I'm really happy we have all these government partners together with academia and industry. We really need to put all these efforts together in line so we can help the industries in the Philippines. And that's the spirit of the Regional Inclusive Innovation Centers. And I hope we can do more of these activities. The USAID program through STRIDE will be happy to support many more programs and webinars such as these in the Regional Inclusive Innovation Centers. Again, we want self-reliant, very resilient industries in the country, and we hope innovation can help drive that. So I wish you well on your innovation journey. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abendan. So once again, we would like to remind our participants that we are streaming via YouTube live through the Ched Regional Office 11 channel. So for those of you having difficulty accessing the link via YouTube, you can also visit their official Facebook page at Ched Regional Office 11 to get the link. So yung mga hindi po nakapasok via Zoom natin, you can always invite them via the YouTube live. So to proceed, we will now be going to our main event. With COVID-19 pandemic, everybody is affected. Consumers, businesses, employees, governments, media, practically everyone from all walks of life. For businesses, what is the way forward when you lose your market? Traditional businesses are at a loss. To talk on the topic on how to make insights drive success and innovation in your business, our speaker this afternoon is the Assistant Vice President for Corporate Marketing of Republic Biscuit Corporation, more commonly known as Urbisco. He is also a faculty member of the University of Asia and the Pacific. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Juan Paolo Gonzales.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm really excited to be here today. You know, the first time that I was invited to this event, Eric told me to deliver a speech on market research and analytics as it relates to SMEs. And he also we talked about, you know, the partnership between government and government and education or academe. Actually, I got really excited because, you know, for one, I am from the industry, as mentioned. Number two, I also teach. Teaching is my passion. And lastly, collaboration with the government is something that I am used to because we are also an SME, our family. So let me just try to share my screen. I hope everyone is doing well today in these challenging times. Okay, so the title of this talk is how to make insights drive successful innovations. If you think about it, ang bigat ng topic, it's research and analytics. I can bore you with, you know, those regression analysis, all those models today, you know, just to get your business driving. But I won't do that. I'll try to make this easy. I'll try to make this simple as possible. After all, I'm sure what you want to know is anong ginawa nyo, anong ginawa mo in the past that proved to be successful. Okay, so a little bit more about myself. I have more than 20 years of experience already. I've been to many companies outside of Nabisco. I've been assigned here and overseas as well. I've been assigned in Thailand for Colgate-Palmolive. One thing that I'm really proud of was when the time that I launched Del Monte Fit and Right in my stint in Del Monte. So I'll tell you more about the story of Del Monte Fit and Right if later, no. But just a filler, do you know that when we started Del Monte Fit and Right, we actually thought of an energy drink and not a weight loss juice drink? So we'll get to that later on. I'm also a marketing consultant. I've been a consultant to a lot of SMEs as well. And as I mentioned, I'm also a business owner. So as a marketing consultant, I'm used to talking to SMEs. Ito yung these are brands that you're probably not, or companies that you're not really familiar with. These are brands or companies within cabinets. Tapos merong online delivery company. There's a out-of-the-box food delivery company. There's even sports. Pero pare-pareho yung tanong sa akin. It's like, Paolo, hirap ng benta. Ang daming kalaban. We promote here and then we cut our prices and then we spiral down into a thread of, you know, of an ending spending until, you know, the well goes dry. Anong gagawin namin? Simple lang yung tanong ko eh. What makes you different? So if you're competing with this company or this brand, what makes you different? And then surprise, the whole room suddenly falls quiet. The question is how to make yourself differentiated. I also mentioned that we're business owners. So we have a small company, it's called Marination Agricultural Products. We're actually a partner of the United Nations. Just recently, because of this COVID pandemic, now we delivered, you know, cleaning aids to hospitals to combat COVID-19. Kasi we believe in collaboration with the UN. We've been collaborating with the UN since long way ago. During Yolanda, we were there. We supplied agricultural products and equipment to help rebuild the communities there. In fact, our business is so diverse. During the height of the Marawi siege, we developed with the UN and the AFP, Armed Forces of the Philippines, meal ready to eat for our frontline troops. Ito yung mga ilalagay mo, and we have this technology, it's called the self-heating device. You put in the viand, the rice, nakapack yan, put in water, and then instantly in 2 minutes, the whole pack will become hot meals. So this is a technology that we are proud of, and we we're happy that it helped the war in Marawi. I also have a small business. It's a food truck business in BGC back then. We applied some of our marketing principles on differentiation, on niche. Lakas ng benta namin dito. Kahit sisig lang yung binebenta namin. Because we looked at the right insights, we looked at the right niche for us. Okay, so that's about me. Now on to our main talk. So I really like, when I start my talks, I really like to start off with some facts. Since sabi natin this is market research and analytics. Alam nyo ba that among all the 3 billion people in this world, only 11% are left-handed. So think about it, 89% are right-handed. Do you know that every day we only use 10% of our brains? So the question is, what do we do with the rest of the 90%? Another fun fact. Do you know that only 20% of new products or innovations and even businesses succeed in their first year? And again, this is coming from a study from the Harvard Business School of 30,000 products that they have studied. 20% seems to be a very low number. I think the facts are fun, but I think what is more important is, the question is, what happened? If it's only 20%, what happened to the 80%? What did the 20% do differently that the 80% did not do? So today, I will just, I only have 40 minutes, so I will just trim it down to 4 reasons. 4 reasons why businesses fail. And perhaps I can also shed light on how market understanding can address these reasons, or the reasons why businesses fail. Okay? Let's start with the first one. Are you ready? This is my favorite. Uy, uso to, gawa tayo. Pare, ganda nito, milk tea. That's a good idea. I see that, uso to sa mga bata, no? Gawa rin tayo ng milk tea. So gawa ka ng milk tea. Tabi-tabing stores. It's not even milk tea. I mean, let's talk about shawarma in the past. Everyone went into running. Everyone went into badminton. Dami. Uso. Gawa tayo. And I call this, then suddenly everyone starts joining in the circus bandwagon. Pare-pareho, jump in while the iron is hot. After 3 months, 6 months, you realize, nako, tabi-tabi kaming mga milk tea, tabi-tabi kaming mga same businesses. What makes you different? In this picture, you can see that, you're just one out of the many, many stormtroopers out there. Nothing stands out. If you're the consumer and you're going to choose a stormtrooper here, which one will you choose? I don't know. I'm overwhelmed because they all look the same. So the first lesson in marketing is about trends and fads. You probably heard about trends and fads. Ano ba yung fad? Ano ba yung trend? Parehong trends yan actually. But yung isa is more short term. The other one is more long term. Fads is like, think of fashion. Diba? Fashion tends to have a steep trajectory of growth. People accept it. Uso eh. But realize that after a few months, even a few weeks, maximum of 2 years, the interest or the fashion will go down, will wane. Tingnan nyo yung fashion dyan. It's not something that you will wear 10 years from now, even if you think of wearing those crazy stuff. No, that's fad. A trend, however, is an event or an event where consumers behave the same way. The endurance yan, meaning if it starts today, you can be assured, or if people start behaving that way today, you can be assured that maybe they will continue to do that 10 years from now. So if we talked about earlier fashion to be a fad, ano naman ang examples ng fashion? The first one, a trend rather. Ano example ng trend? The first one can be digitalization. It's something that we've seen like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but still now. it continues. In fact, we're doing a webinar, first webinar where more than 200 people have joined in. It's not something that we expected, because of the pandemic, but digitalization is something that has legs, that has endurance, and it has endured the test of time. Climate change is a trend as well. Environment is a trend. Now, ang question dito is, so Paolo, ibig sabihin na to, kung fad, huwag ko na pasukan. Doon lang ako sa trends lagi. The answer is yes and no. Yes, you can no, because you cannot it's something that you cannot, if you're looking at longevity, it's not something that will be there in the next 10 years. But if you want to like milk the fad for whatever it's worth for the short term, then go ahead. But make sure and be convinced that in a few months' time, expect that your business mode may not be there anymore. Okay. A trend, however, is something that ang danger dito is that a lot of people will see, because a lot of people are doing what we call a trend watching. Okay, so those are principles. So if you want to be different, think of trends, think of fads. What are those that are not yet being addressed by any of your competitors? That's the first one. And be quick in identifying those, because your competitors are quick to see that. Okay? Now, related to trends and fads, yan, COVID-19. Let's bring it closer to home. We said that because of that pandemic, a lot of behaviors, a lot of fundamental behaviors have changed already. So let's talk about the situation about trends and fads. Meron bang mga situations where nag-emerge ang bagong themes on fads and trends? The answer is oo, ang dami. Ang dami, particularly on fads. Diba? Now, look around you. We call it the new normal. Diba? Paolo, new normal, yung face mask, gawa tayo ng factory face mask. Oh, good. Magandang negosyo yan. But is it a fad or is it a trend? Are people using face mask right now or buying face mask out of one, compliance, or number two, out of necessity? Or is it something that will go away when the vaccine is now discovered? Face mask. Pero the next one naman is on hygienic packaging. Naku, Paolo, mukhang yung mga tao, they want health and you want to be healthy because they're scared that there may be an outbreak again of future pandemics. So they want to be healthy. They want to be preventive. So is that a trend? Yes, it is a trend. Health and wellness is a trend. And the more that, because of this pandemic, the magnitude or the importance of health and wellness just increased significantly. So think about it in your own context, in your business. What are the trends and fads that you have seen out of the situation, and how do you convert that into an opportunity? An opportunity that is based out of a concrete consumer need and is not yet being addressed by any of your competitors. First thought. All right? Are you still good? Of course, wala naman sasalita ngayon, di ba? The second one, okay, yung kanina, uso, pasok tayo. The second one, however, is, ang laking market nito, may nakita ko. Sabi ng kaibigan ko na kapitbahay ng Vienna na taga-Japan, malaki ang market dito. So let's get into it. Let's strike while the iron is hot. Sabi nila. Yan yung mga excited, and everyone's eyes light up in the boardroom and get excited. May malaking business opportunity. Excited na ako, magiging bilyonaryo na ako in 6 months. So magkano yan? Invest tayo. It's only 10 million pesos for the factory, for the machines. Yan. And then we will advertise. We want to gain awareness. Yan. Gandang pakinggan. Awareness. Gawa tayo ng celebrity endorsers. Influencers. Yan. Ganda. So you invest. You get into the business. You go through the whole process of starting up a business. You invest. Lo and behold, you invest until the well goes dry. And then only to realize, again, like the stormtrooper, Nako, ano ba tong pinasukan ko? Ano ba tong opportunity to begin with? I thought we had a big market out there. Sabi ng kapitbahay ko na Vienna, ng kapatid na taga Japan, that this is something that it's a trend that's entering the Philippines. Nothing. It's nothing. The concept is nothing. And bakit? First of all, in that course of the conversation, I did not hear anything about the consumers. Yun din, the barkada of your kapitbahay of your biyanan from Japan didn't even talk about consumers. At the end of the day, it's their consumers who will buy you. Your product should be able to satisfy a need that is not yet being addressed by anything or by anyone yet. Which leads me to the point, if you want to be successful in your business, you should activate your consumer insights. A consumer insight is a deeper need that drives behavior. Diba? It's so strong that sometimes it forms part of our reptilian brain. It triggers certain behavior that, even us people, we cannot explain why we're doing so. Think about Christmas ham. Why do we buy Christmas ham during Christmas? It's not because no one said, no, you have to buy it, but it's part of our parang it's almost like instinct to us that we have to buy something like that during Christmas, because it triggers a special memory when your mom on Christmas Day, makes Noche Buena, and the whole family is there. You talk about your lives, your aspirations, you dress up your games. It's just so happy, a happy memory. So Christmas ham is not a ham. It represents Christmas, the essence of Christmas, the joy, the feeling, the mood, how your house smells. See? And all of this you can only get if you activate consumer insights. And the main point here is that when you activate consumer insights, you have to look at what are the unmet needs or the pain points. I'll start off with my first case study. It's Grab and Uber. Okay. Dati, if you want to get from point A to point B, tas wala kang kotse and you want to hire, you don't want to take the bus, of course, you cannot take the plane, diba? So you take the taxi, the cab, the metered taxi. Now, if you ask a consumer back then, what are the models of transportation for that need? Oh yeah, it's taxi. Are you happy with it? Not exactly, but I learned to live with it. Bakit? Ano ba yung why did you say that you're not happy? Kasi minsan yung driver, medyo masama yung ugali. Nagrereklamo kung traffic. Tapos, unang hirap maghintay, init-init sa labas, pinapawisan ako. And I'm competing with 100 other passengers for that taxi. And the taxi, wow, utang na loob. Pinasakay ako. Saan ka ba pupunta? Galing akong Makati. Saan ka pupunta? Quezon City po. Layo. Wag na. Or then the second cab, sige, pero 500. Tapos pagdating sa traffic, dagdagan mo 700. Tapos ayaw magbayad, bumaba ka na dyan. Yeah. In fact, I know people who needed to text their loved ones. I'm in the cab. The plate number is this and this and this. Please pray for me. Diba? So, daming pain points. Nakakahilo, ang baka ng kotse, yung driver's not courteous, hindi transparent yung pricing. Okay. Now, if you were Grab back then and you had the same thinking of, sige, papasok ako negosyo, malaki ang negosyo sa taxi. So, ang way in for me is to have more taxis. Kung ganun sila mag-isip, do you think that their Grab and Uber will still be here today? I guess not, because they're just going to be one of the many stormtroopers out there. But what they did differently is that they looked at the pain points: unfair pricing, messy cars, rude drivers, safety. And of course, it's on demand. You don't have to wait outside. They took all the pain points and packaged it under one app, an app that makes everything convenient, everything transparent, makes you know that you're safe because the drivers you can easily track, and there are many, and the drivers are, if they have ratings, then that's an assurance of safety. They package it that way, same price. Look at where they are right now. Activate consumer insights. When you launch a product, make sure that you're addressing an unmet need and your product is unique. So that's the lesson here. The next lesson, the next case study is my favorite, Del Monte Fit and Ride. Yan. Diba? At the start of the talk, sabi ko, Del Monte Fit and Ride did not start off as a weight loss product. It was an energy drink called Kinetics. Okay. So I joined Del Monte back in 2004 as an assistant product manager of Del Monte 202, yung canned juices. Back then, the situation was we were competing with Dole in the canned juice segment. Grabe na yung competition. We launch a new product, new flavor. Tomorrow, they'll have the same. We cut our prices, they'll do the same. We can do promotions, we do the same. We do a TV ad, they'll do the same. So it's, ano lang, chicken, parang it's a what they call this? We're in this cycle of spending money, and sales is not going anywhere. Primarily because we're not addressing any consumer needs that are different. So one day, our boss said, my boss, Ms. Jerry Gomez, said, we need to get out of this mess. We need to get out of this canned juice segment. So let's look at what market is growing. So back in the day, there was this. We saw that in terms of growth, the energy beverage market was growing, double digit, and it's because of the entry of Extra Jaws. I'm not sure if you still remember. So anyway, the market was growing. So sabi na, oy, malaki yung market dito. Pasukan natin, let's strike while the iron is hot. Ganun rin, no? So ano yung technology that is available out there that we can introduce here? And we can package it as a superior energy drink. So we found out that in the United States, they're using this ingredient called L-carnitine. So we took a chance. So the company invested in that technology, etc., and production, many months of development. And then as a last step before we do market launch, we did the product test. Basically, it's a quantitative test asking consumers, what do you like about this product? Will you buy this? And we showed them a concept. So yan, presentation day, we were so excited in the boardroom. Okay, the Kantar or Nielsen was about to present. I was really excited. And then first slide, did we meet the objective? What do you think? The answer was no. We did not meet it. We did not meet the objectives. In fact, we missed it. We did very, very bad. Kinetics, Del Monte Kinetics energy drink failed in that consumer test. So we were stunned, like 5 minutes in the boardroom. We just had blank stares because, what to do now? We were expecting sales out of this product, and because of the results, wala na. So after 5 minutes, my boss said, okay, let's just look at what the consumer said. So there was a slide. It's like a data table of just numbers and a few attributes. Meaning, tinanong kasi yung mga consumers, what do you like or not like about the concept? Kasi may written concept yun about the concept. So everything wala. They didn't like the concept, the concept of a juice drink that burns fat. But there was something that really stood out. There's one attribute that said mataas yung acceptability. And back then it was burns fat into energy. And then we said, okay, there's something there. It's a cookie crumble that the consumer actually placed there intentionally to tell us something. It's a small nugget of insight. Why is it resonating among them? Energy to fat. Burns fat into energy. And then we took another look at the consumers. We talked to them, ano ba? Bakit ba importante ito? Then only after several probing did we realize na, because back then, the trend of weight loss was already emerging. People wanted to look good and feel good for confidence, and because it gives them a certain advantage. And back then, part of that inciting session is that sabi nila, in fact, wala nga naman product that gives me that. Eh. I drink Coke Light, I drink C2, but I know that it's not something that helps me burn fat. So we got the insight na, okay, there's an opportunity right now na to have a product that really addresses their weight loss need. And not it's a need that is not yet being addressed by anything else. So we developed Del Monte Fit and Right, wrote the concept, and the acceptability was skyrocketed. No? But what's more interesting about this is how we collaborated with the academy. You know, of course the product is there, but you have to convince. The question of the consumer is it effective? Does it really work? So that's where the partnership with academe came in. So we partnered with the UP College of Nutrition, care of Dr. Panlasige, and we developed a clinical study that proved that Del Monte Fit and Right after 9 weeks will reduce body fat by 12%. And we presented it back to our consumers via communication, and boom, success. So yeah, that's the story of Fit and Right and how we were able to look at unmet needs. We looked at the nuggets of clues or the little cookie crumble that bits that the consumers left. And it was up to us to identify and mine bakit and ask why. Okay? So that's Fit and Right. All right. The next one, the third one that a lot of the consumers and a lot of companies, big or small, say is that, oh, digital, uso. Gawa tayong viral ad. It's like Jollibee. I like, yung Jollibee, yung naiyak ako dun yung sa Davao. Tapos gawa tayo yung may kurot sa puso rin. Yan. I would, siguro if I get 1 peso for every time someone says I want a viral ad, I'll be very, very rich right now. Okay, sige. Fine. If you want a viral ad, here's one thing that I need to tell you. If you want people to talk about you, you have to deliver against the promise. And let the consumers talk about you. Viral ads are not a function of how much money that you have. It's a function of what your promise is and how you're over-delivering against that promise. So balik tayo kay Jollibee. Bakit naging viral ad yun? Of course, nag-seeding money si Jollibee. But it's more people talking about it. Paano? Of course, Jollibee stands for family. It stands for love. But I guess in my own analysis, ang nakita ko lang is that it over-delivered against the promise of a TV ad. Dati, a TV ad is a 30-seconder that will talk about the juiciness of Jolly Chicken Joy and the crispy deliciousness of Chicken Joy. And that's what you expect. But little did you expect that a telenovela, a series on Valentine's, can be something that's enjoyable for Jollibee on YouTube. So it delivered against a promise of entertainment on entertainment. A promise that fits perfectly with its brand of love and family. So that's why it resonated quite well to a lot of people. In the age of digital, it is very people talking about you can make or break you. In fact, if I'm in the market for TV, LED TV, yan, and I have a budget of 15,000 pesos. Dati, back in the day, I will go to like what? Abençons, Ansons, and I will sit out there. I will talk to the salesperson or tapos ask for the recommendation. Or before that, I will ask my kapatid who has the TV. Or I will just look at the TV ad. But in the day of today with e-commerce and digital, the way we look at products have changed dramatically. So back to this example, TV, LED TV, type, kita nyo, 58,000 items found for LED TV. Wow, dami. So how can you possibly consider and study all 58,000? In fact, do you know that our brains can only process or compare siguro properly up to 2 products at the same time because we cannot handle more than 3. And check for the details specs. 4K ba yan? Ganyan, I don't know about the tech stuff, di ba? But our brain will just create shortcuts. So what are the shortcuts that our brain do? Recommendations. Ang ano dito, so ang ano nga dito sa book ni Robert Cialdini on influence, he says that social proof, yan yung hinahanap ng mga consumers. Because you don't want to think anymore. You just want other people to talk about the brand and tell you what the best TV is. So dito, ano yung social proof? You look at the stars. Oh, there, ito. Kuka, 40 S3N, 12,490. There were from Laguna, 3,803 star people who gave it almost a 5-star. And if you look at the comments, I say, oh, after 1 year, okay pa. Matibay. Hinulog ko na sa bangin. Dilublob ko na sa tubig. Okay pa ko. Diba? And pasok sa 15,000 budget ko. So again, the lesson here, if you want to be talked about, if you want to go viral, the first thing is to satisfy your promise. But the best thing is to over-deliver against your promise and let your consumers talk about you. Something closer to home, Rebisco. You know what? Fudgy Bar is part of the Rebisco family. So here, grabe, lakas ng benta nito. Growing. Mataas, almost double-digit. More than double-digit every year. And not because of innovations, but because of this chocolate variant. And bakit? Because if you think about it, Fudgy Bar is a packaged cake na baon ng mga bata. But because Fudgy Bar has over-delivered against the product quality, flavor, sobrang chocolate yan eh. It's so moist. It's delicious. Now, people thought of using it for other uses. In fact, if you go to YouTube and type in Fudgy Bar recipes, you'd find things like this. People creating cakes, using Fudgy Bar as a base cake. And now, how Fudgy Bar over-delivered against its promise is that it's no longer a packaged cake. It's a product that will enable you to become a chef. And people are proud of their creations that they share it on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. Diba? So, ang gastos ni Fudgy Bar sa advertising? Minimal. But it's the actual consumers who are talking about it and are proud of their creations, and we call it a Fudgy Bar ice cream cake. Think about it. Focus on product. Focus on your consumer insights, your unmet needs that are unique. Deliver something that the consumers really want and over-deliver against its promise. And let your consumers advocate. So the last one is, if you really want people to talk about you, you really want people to advocate you, stand for something bigger than life. In other words, find your purpose. Are you a product in the business of selling shampoo for clean, shiny, shiny hair without dandruff? Or are you a company like Human Nature? Human Nature is a social enterprise, and if you think about it, their products are much more expensive than the ones that you find in the supermarket. But still, a lot of consumers are actually talking about it and are actually buying the product. In fact, you see a lot of good reviews about this company, Human Nature, because consumers believe that if you buy their products, you're actually giving back to the community, to the farmers. Diba? So it's okay. If I'm gonna spend anyway, I might as well spend something that will benefit the community. No advertising, no in-store. I'm not sure if they spend a lot on digital, but I think it's more people talking about it because it stands for something deeper than just products. Shampoo, diba? Sunflower oil. We know because our company collaborates with Human Nature, and we could develop, farmers with them. And of course, I know some our partners here, Malagos is also doing doing the same in, bringing back to the community. That's why you see, people are, the lesson here, if you have a purpose, people are gonna are people are going to will be willing to pay a little bit more. Okay. Since tama-tama naman, market research, ang iniisip lagi ng mga tao, ay magpapagawa ko ng market research sa mga big agency. Pera yan. Wag na lang. Strike while the iron is hot. Di ba? Malaking opportunity dito. Ay, ito uso. Wag na yung research na. Mabagal yan. Mahal yan. And most of all, wala akong budget. So ano na? Do I stop? My answer is no. When you talk about research, it doesn't necessarily have to go, refer to research that's being done by those big big agencies that charge millions. In fact, the first step, again, government. Punta ka lang sa NSO, ang daming data dun. If you want, how do you want to understand how the market is before you even get there, just go there. Look, there's milk and dairy products index. It's going to show you monthly market trends. Is it declining? Is it growing? Who's winning? Who's not winning? Diba? So there's data out there and it's free. Just log on to nso.com. NSA pala. Or you go to the SEC. Diba? Get annual reports. Meron rin data. The companies need, especially the bigger ones, need to declare. So you can look at the market, you can look at their revenues, and see, and as a benchmark, are they doing well? Kasi yan din yung gusto ko pasukan ng market eh. Lo and behold, nakita niya, they're declining pala, double digit, wag na lang. And you can also look at their strategies as well. Or, just go on digital. Dami ka na malalaman dyan. If you want to know the pain points, just go there. People comment to rant. So if you want, those rants are, gems. Ibig sabihin, there's something that the company or the products are not satisfying. So can you turn that into positive? Can you use that as your leverage? Social listening. The next one is just visit the stores. Look at how the consumers shop. What is important to them? Do they in their shopping mission, do they spend like 30 minutes, 5 seconds in choosing? Do they look at the labels? Do they smell the product? Diba? Is price important to them? Diba? Are promotions more important the price or what the brand stands for? So think about those. Because if you unlock those insights, those shopper insights, ang kailangan pala ng mga for this segment, yung fragrance, it has to be mild and gentle. Mukhang wala pa yata dito nag-o-offer. Yung all natural, made by the Filipino farmers, for the Filipino farmers. Diba? So think about those. And even sometimes it's okay. You can even talk to them. Why did you buy this? It's free. Just try not to get caught. Academic journals. When I was developing Fit and Right, I didn't know anything about L-carnitine, so we reverted to academic journals, and we talked. There's tons of information about L-carnitine and clinical tests. How the fatty acids are shuttled by the mitochondria. The fatty acids are shuttled to the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell, and it's there that the fat cells, the fatty acids, are converted into energy. Nandun yun, clinical studies yun. And it was free. Just go to the libraries. Or, just mount your own research. It's free. SurveyMonkey, Google Docs, Google Forms. When I was with Globe, we were preparing to present to the CEO the following day. We had data. We needed data. At 12 noon, midnight, my whole team and I were in a room. We said, we need to know about, we need insights because, management only believes in insights. But we didn't have any. So, ginawa namin, yan. Go Survey Monkey. We developed the questionnaires, and then we said, oh, sige, ano tayo competition, send it to your Viber groups, and we will find out who has the most number of respondents after. So it was competition. So after like 1 hour, mga 1 a.m., boom, 200 participants. Which in research terminologies, that's already significant because we're just gunning for 30, we got 200. And we use the data to, the insights there, the data, to convince management of our recommendation. So that's Globe. It's a big company. It's a huge telco. And we used Survey Monkey for free. The last one, and I guess the most important, if you really want to understand your consumers, is just to go out and to talk to them. You will not unlock any needs sitting on your table in an air conditioned room. Insights are garnered when you live and breathe with the consumers. You know their pain points. Ano ba yung aspiration nila? So what are the roadblocks that are inhibiting them to achieve their aspirations? Just go out in the real world and talk to them. That's actually the end of my presentation. And before I end, I would like to do a recap of what we have discussed today. So we talked about 4 reasons why businesses fail. And the lessons today is, number 1, you have to differentiate a fad from a trend, what is short-term and what is lasting. Activate consumer insights. And when you activate consumer insights, harness unmet needs that are not yet being addressed by anything or anyone. And if you find those needs and you develop a product against those needs, over-deliver against those promises, and let your consumers advocate you. And of course, go out in the real world, talk to your consumers, know what they need, and find your purpose. But of course, we understand that not everyone is an expert right now. We understand that we don't expect by tomorrow, you know everything, and you're able to drive successful innovation. That's why there are groups who can help you, the government and the academe. As simple as, can you develop a proper questionnaire? Government and academe can help you do that. Because if only 11% are if only 11% are left-handed, can you use your right hand instead and reach out to ask for help? If we only use 10% of our brains, can we look for 9 other people more so that we turn it to 100%? And because we want you to be part of the 20% and not the 80% who fail, because we want to convert this into this. So my name is Paolo Gonzales, and this is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Paolo. So at this point, we now turn you over to Mr. Jace Asuncion, together with our panel of reactors for the discussion proper.
Ayan. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Paolo, for the very insightful presentation. No? Thank you. Na-inspire kami dun sa presentation that you have given. Good afternoon, everyone. By the way, my name is Jace. I'm connected with several universities doing their technology business incubator. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I'm a startup co-founder of several. I'm helping several startups to really take off their businesses and bring it to the ecosystem and investment. So without further ado, I would like to introduce also my panel. With me this afternoon is the famous cheese maker and founder of Malagos Food Incorporated and Malagos Farmhouse Cheese, no other than Miss Olivia Puentespina. A round of applause, please. With Ma'am Olivia, I would like to introduce also the maker and the president and CEO of our favorite Healthy Sweets Mindanao Corporation, Ma'am Betty Marfil-More. Round of applause, please. And with us from the Academe, I'd like to introduce the chairperson of Food Technology Program of Philippine Women's College in Davao, Professor Maria Christina B. Ramos. Good afternoon. And of course, in representation of the businesses from Davao, we have the support and the presence of our Davao Chamber of Commerce and Industry President, no other than Mr. John Carlo Tria. Afternoon, sir. Welcome.
Ariel, palakpak kayo.
Okay. So to start the discussion and the feedback to what Sir Paolo has presented, a very insightful presentation. Maybe we could start with Ma'am Olivia. Ma'am Olivia, maybe would you like to share with us how have you coped up with the current challenges that COVID-19 has brought to your business? What are the changes and what are the approaches that you have taken so far?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for inviting us and allowing us to share our experiences as we go and plod through this pandemic. As you have mentioned, no? So we're in the food business um, in a very niche, tunnel-viewed business, which is the high-end artisanal cheese production. Ano? And looking back, it was, is it a tawag dito, advantage or disadvantage that we are serving a very specific market? Kasi tinamaan kami. Our market of the hotels, resorts, airline were the first one to be closed. So with that, we were 95% nawala yung market namin. But the first thing that we did was to plug our holes, no? Number one, you have to stop leaking out your remaining funds because you do not know when the market will restart. So purchases were cut on hold, only essentials. Only the essential was needed in production. We talked with our people and we instituted tawag dito shorter tawag dito working hours. We had some of them opt for indefinite leave. After talking with the DOLE, we had to talk and consult with them on what to do because we're MSMEs and your cash flow is very shallow. But we were very serious on continuing with our HACCP and GMP, and with that, to assure that the products were still good, still safe, we had to maintain our HACCP team. And then after that, we had to go and get the platform for online selling. And started our Viber group, our Facebook, and all other platforms that we can use to do delivery, get the cheeses to your houses. So that's what we did to pivot. You are on mute.
Jace, naka-mute po kayo.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Olivia, for sharing those strategies that you have done. And really, that's the resilience of a Filipino business entrepreneur that we have, no? Yeah, based from the presentation also of Sir Paolo, like I'm working with the academe. If I may share, I would like to share also yung experience with the export community with Export Management Bureau in DTI. The food sectors are working with APC, Asian Pacific College students who are identifying the markets and getting the information on sharing and targeting the market that they have. So you may want to like look into that as well in working with the universities from Davao. There's USEP, UMIN, and of course, University of the Philippines, Mindanao. On the other hand, may we ask also Ma'am Betty of Healthy Sweets Mindanao Corporation on how do you see you coping up and boosting the immune system of our clients that are patronizing your sweets? Ma'am Betty?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to this webinar. Actually, Coco Sugar is a new product. Although we started in 2009, during that time, coconut sugar is not yet well known to the people. So really the sales is slowly gaining ground. But during this pandemic, we observed that most people are looking for healthy and natural products. So our sales have increased, but the problem is we lack the raw materials because the our supply that comes from the other provinces could not enter Davao City. But still we survive by, although the production is small, but we still operate with limited work hours and also shifting of the people so that they can have even just a little income to survive. So with the trend now that the market is knowing our products, it is gaining better, and hopefully it can sustain because people now are looking for products that can boost their immune system. And our cocoa sugar and our tea, because we have different types of tea, so people like the tea that we have. Even in the supermarkets, there are so many types of tea, but our tea is moving fast.
Wow, that's great to hear. Ma'am, thank you so much for that experience sharing. No, yeah, maybe we should like collaborate with the academe on how to incorporate zinc and vitamin C and of course vitamin A. According to World Health Organization, those are the three main vitamins that we need to boost our immune system on fighting this COVID-19. Maybe what we can do is to ask our academe partner here on how we can work together on creating new products that will answer these challenges. Moving forward, with that in mind, let's hear from Ma'am Maria Christina Ramos, the chairperson of Philippine Women's College Davao, on their programs on collaborating and working with the academe from their food technology program. Ma'am Tina?
Yeah, good afternoon. PwC hosts the Food Processing Innovation Center. And this is a collaboration with DOST, DTI, the Food Processors Association of Davao, and also with the city government. Okay, so before the pandemic, we have been into innovating products, products that had been there, but we have to find other processes for it to be more more healthy and more convenient. Okay. When the pandemic came, we had to answer to the to to the times of providing the frontliners. So we went into production of immunity boosting juices. So we had we like opened our books again and look at all the products that we have developed that could respond to this. That's why we were able to provide juices for the frontliners, and we were producing until now. We are still producing for them, and we also have the healthy chips. That the vacuum fried chips. That's 40% less fat, but it's a good one. And these are the things that we have in store at the Food Processing Innovation Center. And we would like to encourage more technology takers to adopt this technology so that they can also respond to the needs of the times.
Thank you for that. Sir Paolo, baka pwedeng makipag-partnership with Philippine Women's College kung paano natin i-incorporate yung zinc dun sa Fit and Right natin to boost the immune system. And ipa-plug in ko na rin with that proposal ni Ma'am Tina. Open pa yung cradle natin for funding proposal kay DOST. So baka that's a very timely opportunity that we can collaborate with. In the sector naman of the business, let's hear from Sir John how the chamber is approaching and what are your programs, Sir John, on encouraging these businesses from Davao. Walang maiiwan. We move forward all together. Sir John, take it away.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. First of all, I'd just like to explain a bit. The chamber's role is always to help business through advocating policies that are friendly to the growth of businesses and the economy. Then you have, of course, promoting businesses through activities like trade missions and events and conferences, and engaging activities that build their capacities like trainings and seminars. So we have a whole menu of these activities and advocacies which are able to help businesses, especially now under this recovery from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, we have put together a business recovery agenda and a resilience plan, which we submitted to government with a few recommendations. And I think that should encapsulate what we're doing. Now, I think what's important is to highlight the fact that we are a partner of the DTI, the DOST, and the different academic institutions in piloting in the country at the Regional Inclusive Innovation Center. And I think that is an important program given the opportunities and challenges that we're facing now. And I'd like to maybe go back to what Mr. Gonzales mentioned earlier, that definitely part of our assessment of the new normal is that we have a much higher level of competition because we all know that our economic growth is not expected to go back to pre-COVID-19 levels until I mean, the projections are clear. Both our government and multilateral institutions have already given their projections. Of course, we'll try our best to spring a surprise by end of the year. But it suffices to say, for businesses in particular, it's going to be a tough year. And that being the case, the challenge of over-delivery is actually going to be important. Maganda yung word ni Mr. Gonzales kanina. Over-delivery kasi is going to secure your position, especially with your customers, even to the point of providing credit terms that are comfortable to them. So that will require a lot of innovation in the way we do our businesses, particularly in the way we produce the products. Lalo na yung fixed cost kasi natin, very critical kung paano natin yan minamanage. Kaya product research is going to be a bit more complicated. But of course, market research is easier. So yung present niya kanina is actually very fruitful for many of our businesses, especially the micro, small, and medium enterprises that comprise about 90%. These mostly are, a lot of them are family businesses that are basically run by families, and therefore the presence of the RIIC is going to be vital, especially in Davao, because a lot of our businesses here are related to food. They're related to agribusiness. And there's a lot of creativity that can be engaged. There's a lot of, I guess, opportunities that can be derived. So it will require, number one, a deep understanding of your product's potential. And I think that is going to be important when you look at research. Kaya yung partnerships with DOST, like yung setup and even the Cradle program, these are all critical because they enable us to have a deeper understanding of what our product is. Like for example, if you produce a particular derivative, let's say of banana, ano ba yung pwede pang ma-produce out of that? Ano pa bang klaseng byproduct or side product can be produced? Or maybe a corollary service can emerge from it that can maybe add a new line of business, maybe can add a new dimension that can engage the bigger market. Kasi nga, before I end, as I mentioned earlier, we're not expecting a very robust economy. So, at least until 2021. Kaya, importante talagang ma-maximize natin yung capabilities ng ating mga produkto at serbisyo. Kasi, yung survival at yung recovery natin will really depend on it. That's why early on, sinabi na namin talaga na innovation will be key in order to ensure our survival and our recovery. Yun lang po. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sir Jan, for sharing your insights. Yes, truly, as we are preparing ourselves and bracing ourselves as we face, sad to say, recession up to like 2021, as expected and being projected by major conglomerate. That's also the thing that most of our MSMEs should be preparing for. And I think it's also timely that we partner with, of course, some academic partners with PwC, Davao, and of course, our 3 technology business incubators in Davao. That's University of Mindanao, UP Mindanao, and USEP, who can like look into possible technologies that you can adapt and possible product development that you can do and apply for government funds in embracing this COVID-19 pandemic. This next question is for Ma'am Olivia and Ma'am Betty. As mentioned by Sir Paolo, the game before was like with Grab and Uber. Right now, with the pandemic, the next name of the game is GrabMart, Food Panda, Lalamove, Shopee, and Lazada. How are you coping up with these platforms? What are the challenges that are you encountering that you would want to have help with? Ma'am Olivia?
Oh, okay. So we have engaged with the Pink. But prior to that, we launched our own delivery platform. That was even before the COVID, because that's part of our strategic business plan on the long term, that we have to have as alternative way of delivering to the household, not just yung regular na mabibili nila sa retailers. No? So we
Your network bandwidth is low.
Hello. Am I on again? The chickens are going out. Anyway, so we had that, and then it was not as busy as before, as I would have expected. Our own platform. Why? Because people love to come and visit us in our cheese room. It's the whole experience of meeting the cheese maker, having your tikim tikim. So, but it was available. And then when the pandemic came, after the isang buwan na umiiyak, and then padalawang buwan na lumalaban na, so we had engaged with Food Panda at the market. And one thing that I need to put across is that Food Panda or any platform will not make you popular. It is your own. It is your own. There are platforms that will bring your product to the end user, but it is your team that needs to bump up its presence in the web, in whatever way you can. Your website, your Facebook, your Instagram, these things, because this will what connect you to your market. And what a Food Panda can do and the other platform is that make sure that when they need the product, they can get it from you to them. So, minsan kasi ang expectation is that, oh, punta tayo ng ganitong platform kasi parang mabilis yung sales natin. They can only do so much with the photos that you give to them, but still you have to make sure that your team brings out news, good photo, information from your side to your consumer. So we have that. And then, ang problema lang is when you engage with one, somehow you are locked down and you cannot engage with others. So that kind of limits your exposure to the market also. But well, that's part of the deal, I guess. You have to unmute yourself.
Ayun. Thank you very much, Ma'am Olivia, for sharing that insight, no, with the platforms. Tama. Tayo pa rin ang gumagawa ng ikaka-boost ng ating products dun sa platforms na to. And of course, hopefully SMSE are already using Facebook and then getting the insights as initial feedback and data from clients who are looking, who are clicking their products. There's this question from the crowd, from our audience. Maybe Ma'am Betty can help us on like what's the budget for the R&D for SMEs. Baka kasi sabi ng mga SMEs natin, oh, R&D is expensive. Maybe you can help us or give us like a bulk figure on how much SMEs should allocate for their R&Ds.
Actually, yun nga ang problema. Actually, yun ang problema ng mga SMEs kasi wala silang budget, no? Kaya ang ginawa lang namin, we do our own research on the products that we are going to make. Ganun lang. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Kaya with the project of RIIC, we're happy because we are linked with the academe that can help us. No? Actually, we have started already our linkage with Ateneo for the renewable solar cookers that we're going to make. We have already submitted the proposal. But since there was this pandemic, so there was a halt also on the project that we are undertaking. I don't know what's the update now, no. But it really the academe industry relationship is really very good. Actually, with the Ateneo, when we were discussing with the Ateneo for the solar cookers, other faculties were also invited to join us, and they told us that they are also willing to help us in our research and development activity for new products that we want to undertake, because we want to make more healthy products, no? Using the coconut sugar as our base material and the other raw materials that we also plant in the farm. because there are many herbal plants also that we planted, but we have not yet developed it. We want it to be developed as a immune booster of the community.
Wow, that's great to hear. Oh, see, other small medium enterprises, the universities are open to work with you. Just knock at their doors. Kung nagawa ni Ma'am Betty, kayang-kaya niyo din gawin yung collaboration with the other universities. There maybe Ma'am yes ma'am. Go ahead po. Ma'am Tina, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I'd like to inform also everybody, or I think a lot of them knows already about the Food Processing Innovation Center. It is a research facility So the idea here was that we could offer technology improvement or research for MSMEs, before, if they have something in their mind, using the high impact technology solution equipment we have, like we have spray dryers, vacuum fryers, freeze dryer, and we have a water retort, and we have a cabinet dryer. They can use these things if they have something in their mind, and we can work with them before. And if they are already convinced about this product or the market of the product, then that's the time that they can invest on the machine. So I think it's a good good opportunity also for the MSME to use the facilities of FPIC. And also for market research, we have our school would like to work with the industry on this, because we have what we call the institutional management entrepreneurship program, wherein you can ask or you can request the students to do this business planning and the market research for you, so that in a way it will also benefit the students, so that they wet their hands, or they dip their foot into the industry, and they have an exposure. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ma'am Tina, for promoting your services and the possibilities that we can collaborate with you and with your university. Ma'am, additional question. If like the industry is really generous, is there a limitation on the honoraria that they can give? How do you manage that in the past?
The FPIC usually just asks for the cost of the utilities. The kuryente and the water. Yeah, so if you use it for an hour, there's a rate for 1 hour. If you use it for 3 hours, there's a rate for 3 hours. So that's it. You don't have to buy the machine first. You just have to invest your raw materials or on some trials and in your product development.
Oh, ayun naman pala mga ka-SMEs. Murang-mura at very affordable ang ating services with the PW, Davao City Food Technology Program. So what are you waiting for? Maybe you can shoot an inquiry to Ma'am Tina already for your ideal products, and let's try it in the market. Okay, lastly, going back to Sir John. Sir John, maybe you could give us what advice can you give for aspiring entrepreneurs during this pandemic period?
Siguro, wag po tayong matakot sa technology. One of the things kasi that seems to hamper the openness to innovate is there's this fear that technology cannot be handled and that it will become parang a cost pit. Yun bang ang fear kasi ng madami, pag nag-invest ka in technology, hindi mo mababawi yung investment, no? Kaya nga nandyan yung RIIC, and I think this is the challenge we need to pose to the center, because being an integrated center, andyan yung DTI that can help market the product. Nandyan yung DOST that can help develop the research plan. Of course, si Ma'am Maricar is here of CHED, no? I just like to note that madaming research from our different academic institutions. So I think I'd just like to advocate that if there are product-related research that are useful, maybe we can upload them all in a cloud, which we can share with industry. And especially those that have to do with commodities that we produce in the region, like banana or pineapple or durian. Kasi yun yung titingnan ng mga entrepreneurs natin. Kung makita naman nila na viable, I think there's no reason why we should not invest. Lalo na kung hindi naman ganun kalaki yung investment. Kasi nga, as I mentioned earlier, yung competition will be stiffer. No? Then, if the competition is stiffer, you need to have your unique selling proposition, something that the market will really appreciate.
Yes.
In other words, labanan na ito ng, pagalingan na ito kasi nga hindi na ganun kadami ang buyers, no? Kaya yun yung challenge. And the opportunity therefore is, if you can innovate a product or a service, that can be something that you can add to your menu of products and services in the future. I'd just like to share my experience, no? Kasi I went through the 1997 financial crisis. And definitely that was really a challenge for many businesses, because at that time, bagsak talaga yung merkado. The dollar went from 26 to 30 in about 2 weeks. So you can imagine, maraming importer biglang nawalan tuloy ng negosyo kasi hindi na nila mabayaran yung kanilang in-import na raw material, no? So there was a need to really innovate on what you can do in order to survive. And to think at that time, wala namang ayuda-ayudang meron nun eh.
Yes.
Buti nga ngayon, at least you have an SB Corp CARES program, you have a lot of the stimulus under bayanihan. Noong 97, wala namang ganyan. Wala namang bayanihan law at that time na pwede kang mag-deferred payment. Buti nga ngayon meron eh. Dati wala yun. Pinagdaanan ko po yan. Kaya nga sabi ko, this is 1997 all over again as far as I'm concerned. And I was able to come out of that experience with a new range of products and services that delivered dividends after 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
At lalong naging maganda nung gumanda ulit yung takbo ng ekonomiya, wala na. Nagkaroon na ako ng mas madaming customers, mas madami na akong clients kasi mas lumawak yung pwede kong ma-offer. So from a small client base, I was able to expand it. So as the economy improved, I was really able to earn very well after that. Kaya itong pandemic na ito is another 1997 moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm facing it headlong. I'm not afraid. As I'm sure many of our entrepreneurs in Davao, hindi naman natatakot kasi ang Davaoenyo businessman, marami ng pinagdaanan, or business entrepreneurs, so let's be gender, Ang entrepreneur ng Davao kasi marami ng pinagdaan ng challenges. Ma'am Olive knows this, no? The Puentespina family understands this very well. The different business families, they did business at a time na ang credit, what's his interest rates were what? 40%, 30%. This was in the early 80s. No?
Yeah.
Ngayon, at least ang commercial credit natin nasa mga mga between 8 and 12.
Yes.
Dumaan tayo noon sa 40%. Noong 1997, nasa mga, if I remember correctly, 15.
Yep.
Mga ganyan yan nung araw. So, siguro, sorry lumalabas yung edad ko, pero siguro may value yung edad when we look at the wisdom in order to move forward. So, siguro ang pinaka-message ko as part of my own response to your question is, there are a lot of opportunities which you will not see in the next few months, but you will see it over the next several years. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir John. Truly, tuloy ang laban. With this COVID-19, no? Dire-diretso lang. Just cap it. Let's move forward. Let's work hard together. In addition to that, sir, to encourage also other entrepreneurs, like me, myself, I have also launched a new company this COVID-19. We have launched some fresh buys with a few partners. We have also this farm to market initiatives. Madaming Pinoy ang nagugutom in Metro Manila, hindi makapag-dispose ng mga gulay yung mga taga-Benguet, and they ask us to help out. Now we were able to bring and connect the farmers to the tables of our consumers here in Manila, and it's continuously booming up. Thank you for that ad-lib. By the way, let's ask Sir Paolo back on his insights on the feedback of my panel members on this strategies and a position, as well as collaboration that we are thinking of. Sir Paolo, can you share more of your thoughts on this?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? Because right before you asked the question, my video dropped. I had to redial.
Okay lang, sir. Sir, we would like to request your thoughts and your insights on the feedback of the panel with your presentation.
Oh, absolutely. So thank you very much for to everyone, Miss Olivia, Sir John, everyone. So Ma'am Ramos. So absolutely. So I guess the context that we should be talking right now is the COVID-19, and I think that's the most pressing issue right now is business recovery. We all know that businesses are challenged right now in terms of cost, in terms of supply chain, in terms of demand, in terms of distribution. We know that we are entering, the fact of the matter is we are entering into a recession right now.
Yes.
So that's the business reality. But the reality is the more that we should be activating insights. This is the opportunity right now, because if you think about it, not everyone is faltering right now. There are businesses that are actually doing very, very well right now.
Right.
Think about e-commerce. Lazada has record sales during 6/6.
Yep.
Okay, it's doing very, very well. Why? Because it's serving a unique need, a need that people cannot go outside. They need things to be delivered at home. Diba? All the malls, all the stores are closed, so they're really doing well. Food Panda is doing really well primarily because people still need to have variety in their food. And Food Panda enables people to do that. Sir John mentioned something very, very important, is embracing the situation, embracing technology. I think the winners out of this pandemic are those who are quick to accept the new norm and quick to accept the new market realities of the consumers, quick to understand that technology is a key input to everything. And most importantly, businesses that are the first one to identify consumer insights and how they can re-engineer their products to over deliver against that consumer will emerge. Now, and again, partnership. If you're not yet the expert, look for an expert. The academe is our experts. The government, DOST, diba? Are experts in technology. The ICT as well. There are many government agencies right now who are willing to help. So, I think that the thing is that the lesson here is we're not alone in this crisis.
Yep.
Asking for help is the first step towards business recovery.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Paolo. Truly, everybody is in this together. We have to collaborate, we have to work together, and we have to search for innovative approaches and innovative products and services, other things that we can somehow boost and improve to offer it to the market. Oh, for parting thoughts, last with Ma'am Olivia, parting thoughts that for our audience.
Yes, unprecedented. We never saw this coming. But as I said kanina, tama na yung iyak.
Yep.
Kailangan ng lumaban, kailangan na tayong mabuhay. And with that, kasi with the hunger of surviving comes the talagang yung ano ba, babalik ta rin mo ano ang pivot mo para mabuhay ka. And that's where innovation comes in, and that's where new business can come in. So far, yun ang mga ginagawa natin. And the good thing is there are help that's coming. We are now in contact with the Department of Agriculture and also with the DTI when it comes, kasi kailangan, dati, gatas ang kailangan ko, gatas. Ngayon, dahan-dahan sa gatas. Eh, pag nagagatas ka, kailangan may anak muna eh. Eh, yung lalaki, no, karne yun, di ba? Kailangan natin meat. So, okay, no? Gawin natin yung meat production ngayon. Gawa tayo ng sausage, gawa tayo ng ganyan, kasi kaya natin eh. Technology is there. People in the academe, people in other private sector can also help. As long as you know you have a good business plan, they will be willing to help you, and that's where I'm coming from right now. Pivot and forge on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Olivia. I'm encouraged with that. Okay, Ma'am Betty, any parting words?
RIIC is a good venue for collaboration because it's a group that has varied expertise. So with the product development that we are aiming, we can make more products that can help in the health and wellness of the people. So hopefully with this, with the development now, that there is less restriction, we can again start with a project, and then the academe can help us more so that more SMEs can develop products related to health and wellness.
Thank you very much, and looking forward in that collaboration with you, with the academe partners in Davao. Ma'am Tina, last sharing of like your programs from PWC. How can these SMEs work with you?
Yeah, the school has identified market research as one big point or one important point in product design and development. So we are also like we have a actually I'm not sure if I should say this, but I will say it. We have a program also with Cradle. We have submitted that is to for a digital platform for the supply chain of from the food, for the food industry, and also for the creative industry. So we are on that, and that also remarkably in this uncertain times, a thorough understanding of our market through research will allow us to continue conducting business as usual in the new normal. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Ma'am Tina. I was actually about to ask you, Ma'am, pwede ka bang maging project leader namin ng Cradle? Magsasubmit tayo. May July 14 pang deadline.
We have two.
Wow, congrats. Nice. Baka pwede pang magdagdag, Ma'am. Pahingi kami ng project leader from PWC. Thank you very much po. And lastly, Sir Paolo, any parting words for encouragement for this COVID-19 as we approach the new
Yun, yeah, the same pa rin, no? I guess it's COVID-19. Sabi nga ni Miss Olive, tama na yung iyak, di ba? Sabi ni Dr. Ramos na it's time for us to start and review and see and understand the market. Diba? Now is the time for us to pick up the pieces and just move forward. Again, there are people who are willing to help. It's just up to us to ask for help.
Okay, so thank you very much, Sir Paolo. There are several more questions that we have from the audience, but due to lack of time, our team will be answering you through email. Okay, and I would like again to thank my panel members for this very pleasant afternoon and sharing your insights and thought on the strategies that you are taking during the pandemic. And of course, thank you very much, Sir Paolo, for the very helpful presentation that you gave to us. It gave us some new ideas to work and play with. So I will now send back the floor to Miss Yael. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Sir Reyes, and to our panel of reactors. Truly not very engaging ang discussion natin, and to think eto pa lang yung simula, because this will be a first of a series of webinars that we intend to have under the Regional Inclusive Innovation Center, of course, to help our industry as well as to link them with our academe para naman maitawid natin yung COVID pandemic together. So together we will thrive and we will survive. No? So to wrap up our first webinar under the Davao RIIC and to give his closing remarks, please help me welcome our Director Erlido Tancontian, the Director of the Department of Information and Communications Technology, Mindanao Cluster 3.
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me as one of your guests to give a message of support in this event. Industry-Academe Market Research Webinar. Today, we have gathered a lots of insights and new pieces of information to innovate your business in these times of new normal. This webinar will be a tool to equip ourselves with the trends of technology in the challenges that we'll face. May knowledge that we learn today from our guest speakers be an advantage to more doors of opportunity in our countrymen. Once again, I would like to thank the Department of Trade, Industry 11, Commission on Higher Education 11, Department of Science and Technology 11, United States Agency International Development, and RTI International in this webinar. Before I end my message, I would like to leave a motivational quote from Walt Disney. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. Thank you, padayon sa pag-uswag, and mabuhay, Madayaw, Davao.
Thank you so much, Director Tancontian. And that completes our webinar for today. Expect more webinars in the coming days and months. So in the meantime, let us know how we can serve you better. We will be disseminating our digital client satisfaction feedback forms. So kindly fill it up, and in return, we will be handing you over your certificates of participation. Again, thank you so much, and we look forward to more meaningful collaborations for innovation with you guys. Together, let us accelerate towards the fourth industrial revolution. So the links are being displayed at the screen. Kindly fill those up so that malalaman po namin on how to serve you better. And also, pwede nyo po i-indicate doon sa comment box kung ano yung mga future na topics that you would want us to discuss. So once again, this has been Joffrey Marie Plasabas of DTI 11 saying madayaw and maayong hapon sa tanan.
This Industry-Academe Market Research webinar is brought to you by Commission on Higher Education 11, Department of Trade and Industry 11, Department of Science and Technology 11, Department of Information and Communications Technology Mindanao Cluster 3, USAID Stride Program, and RTI International.
Yael, can we have our photo op? Photo op natin para dito ba yung mga participants? So gallery, i-gallery natin siya. Okay.
Unmute si Yael, please. Unmute si Yael. Unmute niya as to unmute.
By the way po, this is the modern way of doing photo op. So may we invite everyone, all of the participants, to please turn on your cameras. We will be having a batch photo opportunity. Lahat po ng nandito, for all the participants, please open your cameras and we will have our photo opportunity. Ito na yung bagong normal. Instead na group tayo, sa screen na lang tayo maglalapit-lapit. Please turn on your videos so that we can have a screenshot of all our attendees for this afternoon. Okay. Yung iba po, paki-turn on ng videos, please. Sige. We have 6 screens. So, per screen po tayo. Per screen tayo, Sir Ariel? Okay. Okay. Per screen on, turn on your cameras, face your cameras. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right. Screen 2. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you so much. Screen number 3. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you. We now move to screen number 4. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you so much. We move to screen number 5. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, and finally, screen number 6. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, thank you so much to our more than 200 participants, no? And to thank lahat po nagstay. So it is very engaging and lively na discussion. We look forward to more partnerships with you guys. Again, this is a webinar series, so expect that we will be having more discussions like this in the future. Once again, maayong hapon and daghang salamat sa inyong tanan. Bye!